Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today I wanted to take the time to talk about what I think could be potential Phase 9 ideas, concepts, and things we might actually see in the game based off of what we actually have. Content that is there, content that is unused, just stuff that was either initially in the game and didn't really play out, or things that, we have seen them sort of talk about, hint at, and, maybe allude to a little bit. Just not going off of leaked data or things, builds updated, stuff like that, because that is so highly speculative and really could just be anything. The stories I told in the most recent videos obviously are that, and I think I gave you guys a clear disclaimer that it is very, very speculative and part of this Hopium, Phase 9 Hopium series that we've been going into so hard. So I want you to be abundantly clear with that, guys. But anyway, let's talk about Phase 9. So I think they have two ways they can go for Phase 9. We can take a sort of honestly straight up PvP focused phase where they do things like rebalancing a lot of the classes, making a lot of the classes work. And I think the biggest issue that they've encountered thus far with a PvP phase and something like that is making the spells do certain damage differentials in PvE opposed to PvP. Essentially what SOD has done thus far is made, like, in order to balance PvE and make a lot of the classes very close to that and competitive within like 5 to 10% of each other for most specs of damage up until SE right now, but they did that really well in AQ. They did it amazingly in Nax. We see that sort of gut PvP to where we sort of have developed a one-shot meta, if you will, to where people are simply straight up able to one-shot each other, and that's all PvP is who can one-shot who quicker. And that's not necessarily the most healthiest or enjoyable PvP, and it's why a lot of people don't even do SOD PvP. There are quite a few people like JTello, I see, and Arc. They're always out there doing PvP and trying to get hype and do like dueling tournaments and things like that. But it really just, to me, they've kind of cannibalized the PvP to make PvE great. And so a Phase 9 focused on PvP could be really awesome. They gave us a new raid, right, with Scarlet Enclave. Like, that is straight up a 100% original new raid. I talked about the Ajara Crater and that PvP being there, and that could be something to really focus on, because it's always good. Like, Classic's best feature is this duality of PvE and PvP intertwining and mixing together and allowing people to gear for both of those contents at the same time. Like, your best PvP sword might be from this current raid, and you want to go out there and get that. And I know they've moved away from that in future things, but I think that's what makes Classic special. Like, everyone has to do everything to be the best, and that's something that gets lost along the way and the further we go into expansion. So I always thought it was something really cool and really unique about Classic that made it awesome. So we have the Ajara Crater. That could be the new battleground. I've already talked about that extensively in another video, so I'm not going to go too deep into that, but it's possible Phase 9 content if you want to look at that. And then we have rank 15, so they could give us a new rank which could have new gear that could be Nax or SE adjacent. Just those stats alone would be really cool and encourage a lot of people to PvP, so you wouldn't just have to get invasion boosted, get some sanctified, and go right into Nax to tier 3. You could have a PvP route in order to get your gear and get things, which I think would be really, really awesome. And so, this is a cool fun fact, is that not only is rank 15 in the files, you have a rank 16, 17, and up to 18 are in the actual Classic game files. So you can go really, really high with that. So that alone is enough to give people what they want. And I don't know if a pure PvP phase would be successful, but I think it would bring a lot of people back just to try it, especially if there's a new battleground, the Ajara Crater, that has been talked about so much in depth, and we just never really actually saw it manifest into anything. Then that's pretty much all that I got for what they could do with PvP. Let's talk about PvE. So PvE, they could do a whole plethora of things. If anything with TBC is accurate, they could definitely do a whole lot with Outlands and all of that. But I want to keep it here focused on Azeroth and look at things that they have that they could very, very easily turn into something for us to do. So here in Azeroth, we have 2 zones to really look at. We have Deadwind Pass and Karazhan Tower. So obviously there was actually an alpha Karazhan and an early build of Karazhan Tower. The one we see now in Classic is the TBC version, and the version we've seen much further in, but the original version of Karazhan Tower is really cool. It's actually like the instance and idea for it is incredibly massive. Like, it is a massive tower. It is like 3 to 4 times bigger than the one we see here. So it's just something cool and a little history behind that. I can make a whole video diving into the history of Karazhan Tower, but Karazhan has the potential, like, they could just straight up turn the raid on and let people go in it. Even if it is, just actual straight up Karazhan that we see in TBC, they could always give it that sod twist that made the raid so fun. To me, like, I've been in MC hundreds, maybe even thousands of times at this point, right? So, like, to me, doing MC, doing BWL, doing AQ, Nax, it's whatever at this point. I rated all of, like, Classic 2019 on multiple characters, and I did it again in Season of Discovery, and I even dabbled in Anniversary for a bit. So, like, to me, I've done the raids tons and tons of times. They're repetitive, they're boring. What made SOD so exciting was taking those raids and sodifying them, giving them that twist, those special mechanics, even if they were misses, like the just having FR for MC. It was still fun to see the new mechanics and have to like you could wipe on them instead of just it being a 20-second DPS race. Then the next place to talk about is our favorite idea, is Caverns of Time. So Caverns of Time, one, just straight up has infinite possibilities just because of the nature of it. You could straight up, if they open it up here in Season of Discovery, they could add a portal that could straight up take us to anywhere. We could go anywhere in all of WoW. It's 20 years. They could make a portal. They could make it in, as we saw with Scarlet Enclave, they can plop down essentially anything they want in Classic World of Warcraft, which is pretty cool, to say the least. But Caverns of Time could take us to any of those instances, or they could even just take us to the TBC instances. Once again, if you sodify it and give it that sod twist, it would be fun. It would be special. For me, that's why I've rated every single week from Phase 4 in Molten Core to now. Like, I haven't stopped. And to me, it's fun and enjoyable to keep going. Obviously, the cadence is really quickly of it being 8 to 12 weeks. But it's just like doing them with a new twist is exciting to me. Doing them where they're harder, doing them where they have unique rewards, doing them where they have all those cool things that SOD has brought to it. It's made it really, it's new, it's enjoyable, it's fun, and it's a new way to do the raids, I think. And it is turning that old content into something refreshing and fun, at least for me. Then the other one, and we have talked about this extensively, is our favorite little zone here, Hyjal. So I did a full exploration of Hyjal, just showing you off that when we were talking about Phase 8 launch on the PTR, and it was huge. Like, there is so much they could do. They could make a PvP-centric event around there. They could add a bunch of buildings. They even did dabble in it with the Ashbringer questline, which made me super excited at the time. It's unfortunate that they just sort of did that, but they added a death wall beyond the tree, so like you can't go backwards. Like, if you go through that death wall, it instantly kills you. So like they only want you around the tree of Hyjal, which is, interesting to say the least, and you can't even sneak in now that we're on this patch. You can't go to the old Hyjal. They actually patched the way there. So could they be messing with Hyjal, adding a new zone, adding things to it? We don't know, but it's just, why, after all this time, block people from going over there is something that, raises eyebrows for me and makes me think about stuff in that way. But those are just things that are here on Azeroth that they could tackle in a PvE sense, and I think it would be really cool to see them do that stuff. But anyway, guys, let me know what your ideal Phase 9 is. Let me know what you want to see, and of course, spam it with Phase 9 hype. If nothing else, we can hype Phase 9 up enough that they might just give us something instead of letting SOD just get aerified and die out. So anyway, guys, I truly hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.